टेस्ट लगाना है मुझे हाइपोथेसिस का, जो का स्क्वायर टेस्ट, तो सर थोड़ा उसके बारे में बताइए।
का स्क्वायर टेस्ट देखिएगा, का स्क्वायर टेस्ट जो होता है ना हमारे यहाँ पर, इसको हम बोलते हैं क्या, नॉन पैरामेट्रिक। अब आपको बता दूं का स्क्वायर, देखो मैं आपको एक स्क्रीन शेयर करता हूँ, मैं आपको का स्क्वायर की आगे पीछे की पूरी डिटेल बताता हूँ।
ओके सर।
कुछ स्क्रीन शेयर होने लग मेरी हुई क्या है? दीक्षित सर वर्मा जी को कॉल कीजिएगा प्लीज, अभी तक कनेक्ट क्यों नहीं हुआ? मैं थोड़ी देर पर पहले कॉल किया था, कनेक्ट नहीं हो पाया अभी तक, वो बोल रहे थे मैं बस कलेक्ट हो रहा हूँ। कुछ दिखने लगा, स्लाइड शो हुई?
अभी नहीं सर,
आपका ही फेस दिख रहा है।
मैंने अभी किया तो है, पता नहीं यहाँ से तो पूरा प्रोसेस हो चुकी है।
सर आपकी स्क्रीन शेयर हो रही है
सर,
हो रही है ना?
डॉक्यूमेंट हो रहा है, हाँ जी।
ओके, देखिएगा अब भाई साहब आपने जो बोला हमसे कि हमें कौन सा टेस्ट, तो काई स्क्वायर की बात करें, काई स्क्वायर ये एक नॉन पैरामेट्रिक टेस्ट होता है, नॉन पैरामेट्रिक। और काई स्क्वायर की बेसिक, काई स्क्वायर की बेसिक अजम्पशन क्या होती है? नीड टू वेरिएबल, ठीक है। आपको ये फर्स्ट अजम्पशन है, नीड टू वेरिएबल, ठीक है। और वेरिएबल कैसे होने चाहिए? बोथ वेरिएबल जो होने चाहिए वो कैटेगरिकल होने चाहिए, कैटेगरिकल, ठीक है। कैटेगरिकल होने चाहिए। अब कैटेगरिकल कैसे होने चाहिए मैं आपको बताता हूँ। दो कैटेगरी, जैसे मान लो कि आपने ले लिया रूरल एंड अर्बन, ठीक है। रूरल, हाँ ये हो गया आपके पास, ठीक है। मैं आपको ना एक काम करता हूँ, 9 स्क्वायर टेबल में बताता हूँ, फिर आपको अच्छे समझ में आ जाएगा।
ओके ओके सर।
जैसे मैंने दे दिया यहाँ पर रूरल और अर्बन, ठीक है।
ओके सर।
यहाँ पर दे देंगे, मैं थोड़ा सा नेगेटिव डेटा लेता हूँ, डिसीज्ड विथ कोरोना, ठीक है। और प्रिवेंशन ऑफ कोरोना, ठीक है।
ओके ओके।
और ये हो गया। एक काम करो, डिसीज के छोड़ दो, ऐसे कर लेते हैं इसको, डेटा को अपन पलट देते हैं रूरल अर्बन की जगह, तो आपको बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा। जैसे ले लेके इनोकुलेशन, इनोकुलेशन ऑफ कोरोना, ठीक है।
ओके सर।
और ये ले लेते हैं नॉट इनोकुलेशन ऑफ कोरोना, कोरोना, और यहाँ ले देते हैं डेथ एंड प्रिवेंशन, प्रिवेंशन। अब आपके पास दो तरह का डेटा है, ठीक है। सपोज कीजिएगा देखो हमने क्या किया, कुछ लोगों को इनोकुलेट किया था कोरोना से, कुछ को नहीं किया था। अब उसमें से डेथ हो गई, जिनको इनोकुलेट किया था उनमें से डेथ हुई कुल मिलाकर के 5 लोगों की, और नॉट इनोकुलेटेड वालों की डेथ हुई है, वो हुई है कुल मिलाकर के 40 लोगों की, ठीक है। प्रिवेंशन हुए हैं ये लोग मान लो 10, और यहाँ पर जो है 45 10 हुए, ये यहाँ हो गए 50, यहाँ हो गए 50, और ये हो गया टोटल 100, ये हो गया आपका 50, ये हो गया 50। अब आप देखिएगा इस तरह का डेटा होता है ना, ये डेटा को हम बोल सकते हैं कि जब आप इस प्रकार का डेटा आपके पास होगा तभी आप का स्कोर लगा सकते हो, जिसमें दोनों कैटेगरिकल डेटा है। और कैटेगरी क्या आपकी, एक डेथ कैटेगरी हो गई, और ये इसको बोलते हैं हम X1, ये कहलाएगा X2, ठीक है। ये कहलाएगा आपका A1, और ये कहलाएगा A2, ठीक है। और ये हो जाएगा आपका क्या, एक काम करो ना, ये बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा। X1 X2 क्यों कर रहे अपन, ये लो, ये X बाय, और आसान करता हूँ, बहुत सिंप्लीफाई करता हूँ मैं, A और
B।
अब आप देखिएगा यहाँ हो जाएगा XA, राइट, ये हो गया X बाय, ठीक है। और ये हो जाएगा आपका, इसको बोलेंगे सिग्मा, मैं सिग्मा की जगह ई यूज कर लेता हूँ, सिग्मा इसमें ढूंढना पड़ेगा, ये हो जाएगा
Yes.
सिग्मा
Yes.
ए, ये हो जाएगा सिग्मा बी, और ये हो जाएगा आपका सिग्मा एक्स, ये हो जाएगा सिग्मा वाई, राइट, ये हो गया। अब आपका ये वाला हो जाएगा एक्स बी, ये हो जाएगा बी वाई। अब देखिएगा आपके पास किस तरह का डेटा होना चाहिए। पहली बार डेटा होना चाहिए आपके पास इनोकुलेशन का डेटा होना चाहिए, जिसमें कितने लोगों को टीकाकरण हुआ। 50 का लोगों का टीकाकरण हुआ और उसमें 2 कैटेगरी थी, जिसमें से डेथ और प्रिवेंशन की, यानी कि टीकाकरण हुआ और मरे और बचे, एक कैटेगरी। दूसरी कैटेगरी टीकाकरण नहीं हुआ और लोगों की डेथ हुई या लोगों की जान बची। ये आपको 2 कैटेगरिकल डेटा होना चाहिए। अब आपके पास कैटेगरी क्या थी, एक कैटेगरी डेथ थी, एक्स और वाई। तो आपके पास देखिएगा एक था कि इफेक्ट की बात करें हम, इफेक्ट, तो इफेक्ट में आपके पास एक कैटेगरी थी एक्स जो रिप्रेजेंट कर रही थी डेथ को, ठीक है। दूसरी
Yes.
कैटेगरी थी वाई जो रिप्रेजेंट कर रही थी प्रिवेंशन को, ठीक है, राइट। आपके पास 2 कैटेगरी है, तो मैंने कहा नीड 2 कैटेगरिकल वेरिएबल, हमको 2 वेरिएबल है हमारे पास, ठीक है। एक इफेक्ट हो गया और एक हो गया आपका दूसरा आप दे सकते हो इसको आप कुछ भी बोल सकते हो, दूसरा इफेक्ट हो गया, प्रॉब्लम ले सकते हो, प्रॉब्लम, ठीक है, ठीक है, ये प्रॉब्लम को ले सकते हो। प्रॉब्लम थी कि प्रॉब्लम यानी टीकाकरण, या कुछ भी ले सकते हो आप, एक्टिविटी, एक्टिविटी, एक्टिविटी ले लिया। एक्टिविटी में आपका ए रिप्रेजेंट कर रही थी इनोकुलेशन को, ठीक है, और बी रिप्रेजेंट करती थी नॉट, वो आप समझ लेगा, ठीक है, ये हो गया। तो अब आपके 2 कैटेगरिकल वेरिएबल है और दोनों में कैटेगरी क्या है। अब आप देखिए जब हम डेटा कलेक्ट करते हैं तो हमारे पास कैटेगरी क्या है, एक्स और वाई। अब इसमें एक्स में 5 लोग हैं, वाई में आपके ज्यादा है, लेकिन हमारे पास क्या है, एक्स और वाई कैटेगरी है और एक है ए और बी। तब इनके बीच में हमारा chi square टेस्ट लगेगा, ठीक है। chi square टेस्ट आप एसपीएस से लगा सकते हैं, आप मैनुअल लगा सकते हो। मैनुअल लगाएंगे तो 2 मिनट में आपको बना दूंगा मैं इसका पूरा, ठीक है। वो आपका वो एक्सपेक्टेड फ्रिक्वेंसी और टोटल फ्रिक्वेंसी के बीच में सब डिवाइड करके और उससे आपका डिवाइड कर दूंगा, ठीक है, तो वो आपका बन जाएगा। तो उसमें थोड़ा समय लगेगा, लेकिन आप चाहे तो उसको एसपीएस में बहुत ऐसे समझा दूंगा। आने वाले समय में आपको मैं एसपीएस में सब कुछ बताऊंगा, ठीक है। लेकिन याद रखिएगा, अब आपने सवाल पूछा था कि सर मैं chi square लगाना है, तो अब आप जब डेटा कलेक्ट करेंगे तो याद रखिएगा आपको कैटेगरिकल वेरिएबल के रूप में ही डेटा कलेक्ट करना है। आपको अपना क्वेश्चनर बनाना है, क्वेश्चनर बना करके आप उनसे 2 प्रश्न पूछेगा, जिसमें 2 में भी 2 कैटेगरी और दूसरे में भी 2, 3, 4 जितनी चाहो उतनी कैटेगरी कर सकते हो। फिर आप उसमें से हम वो निकालेंगे डिग्री ऑफ फ्रीडम और उसको chi square टेबल से मैच करेंगे और उसको हम लोग लेवल ऑफ सिग्निफिकेंस से मैच कर लेंगे, तब जाके हमारा ये कंफर्म हो जाएगा। लेकिन आप जब भी क्वेश्चनर बनाएं उसको 2 कैटेगरी 3 कैटेगरी बनाना, हर प्रश्न को कैटेगरिकल बनाना और हर प्रश्न के बीच में उन्हीं की कैटेगरी के बीच में हम chi square लगाएंगे, ठीक है। ये नॉन पैरामीट्रिक टेस्ट रहता है, इसमें आपको नॉर्मेलिटी की जरूरत नहीं है, रिलायबिलिटी की जरूरत नहीं है, आपको इसमें आपको फेस वैलिडिटी कुछ नहीं करना, आप जाके सीधा chi square लगा दीजिएगा, कोई ठीक है। वर्मा जी जुड़ गए क्या प्लीज, आज के एक्सपर्ट हमारे थोड़ा सा समय ले रहे हैं। मैं वर्मा जी का मेरे
सर सॉरी मैं बीच में इंटरप्ट कर रही हूँ, तो ये जो चीज आप बता रहे हैं ये बाद में भी समझाएंगे, मतलब मेरे को बिल्कुल बेसिक नॉलेज भी थोड़ा नहीं है।
मैं बता रहा हूँ ना, जैसे आपका टेस्ट आएंगे ना एसपीएस टेस्ट, मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूँ, मैं आपको इन सब में बहुत अच्छी से समझाऊंगा और इन सब में आपको इतना फैमिलियर कर दूं कि आप इनको खुद ही कैपेबल हो जाएंगे टेस्ट लगाने में। अगर आप नहीं भी हो पाए तो हमारे आने वाले और भी वर्कशॉप में आप हमारे साथ बने रहिएगा, जो भी वर्कशॉप होते जाएंगे।
हाँ जी।
जुड़े नहीं आप? अच्छा ठीक सर, सॉरी। तो बस ना, मैं आपको इसको आगे फ्यूचर में बहुत अच्छे से सारी चीजें समझाऊंगा। अब देखिए हमारे एक्सपर्ट हमारे साथ जुड़ चुके हैं, मैं आपको स्टॉप शेयरिंग करूंगा और सॉरी वर्मा सर आपका समय मैंने ले लिया, मैं इसके आपके लिए क्षमा प्रार्थी रहूंगा। आज मैं आपको इंट्रोडक्शन कराना चाहूंगा। आज हमारे के जो स्पेशल जो चीफ गेस्ट हैं ये हमारे अपने ही इस अरमा के सेक्रेटरी प्रोफेसर सीपी वर्मा जी हैं। आप वर्तमान में सर हेड एंड डीन हैं स्कूल ऑफ मैनेजमेंट एंड कॉमर्स संस्कृति यूनिवर्सिटी मथुरा में। आपके सर काफी पब्लिकेशन है जो मैं पहले भी बता चुका हूँ इनॉग्रेशन में कि आपके 30 से ऊपर पेपर पब्लिश हो चुके हैं 50 से ऊपर आपने कॉन्फ्रेंस की हैं, आपने कई संस्थाओं में एज ए एक्सपर्ट, एज ए कीनोट स्पीकर आपने अपनी भूमिकाएं को निर्वहन किया है। आप सर हमें आज रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर और सैम्पलिंग के बारे में बताएंगे। तो मैं सर बिना समय व्यर्थ किए हुए आपको हैंडओवर करूंगा माइक, और मैं चाहूंगा कि आप हमारे प्रतिभागियों को अपने ज्ञान से ज्ञान दे करके उनको लाभान्वित करेंगे। तो ओवर टू यू वर्मा जी।
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. First of all, a very good evening. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Before saying a very good morning to all, I highly apologize due to the delay. But during this, undoubtedly, our most worthiest, youngest patron, Professor Dr. Kapil Raj Chandoria, has shared his views regarding various different aspects. And now, today we will discuss on another aspects related to one of the most important tasks, and that is a review of literature, sources, and types of sampling data also. So now I'm just sharing the slides. I think now we are in position to share the slides.
Yes, sir. It is. It is
Okay.
visible.
Thank you so much.
Sir, kindly make it full screen, sir.
Definitely. Now it is seen on full screen.
Not yet, sir.
Okay.
Please click on F10. I think. Just try by clicking F10, sir. Or
But
slide
from-
share. You can. Yeah,
Right
yeah.
side, it is just seeing on full screen.
You can put it on slide share mode also.
Just a minute. I'm again trying.
But I think F5 will do. F5 will have it the whole screen display.
Just a minute. Yeah. From here. Present. Now it is visible.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
visible, sir.
Okay. So can we go ahead?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So now, first of all, once again, a very warm good evening to all. I, on behalf of Professor Dr. C.P. Verma, welcome you, all the participants, delegates, senior professors from various institutes and organizations. And now, as we know, it is the second day of our 7 days research methodology workshop program. And during this, yes, first of all, I would like to pay my sincere regards and gratitude to just present, give me such an opportunity to share and my views, especially on review of literatures, sources, and types of sampling. But before starting it, as on behalf of being one of the most important side, as we are the men of management, so definitely before going any kinds of research, first of all, we should be learned that how we will manage the things just present in front of us. Now, as we know, in the pious words of Professor Frederick Winslow Taylor, that yes, what is management? Management is an art of knowing what we want to do and then seeing that either it is done in the best or the cheapest way. Only in such kind of situations we can be imagined to go forward side. And now that was the actually ancient one of the most legendary great management guru, Professor Frederick Winslow Taylor. And after that, his followers, again, another legendary management guru, Peter Drucker, also saying such kind of things by their own way, that management is a multi-purpose organ. Definitely. I'm just saying, can we compare management with research? Here we are saying that management is a multi-purpose organ. I'm just saying that not only management, research is also a multi-purpose organ that will help into manage, just same like business, or we can say we will manage during all aspects to prepare our research thesis. And now just we are doing, a research scholar just doing either his or her activities like a manager. Manage rest of the things in an business firm or organization as well as in the whole industry. Same like that, a research scholar can go ahead with the concepts to make his or her career in the field of this higher education, so either he or she will just going ahead step by step and manage the rest of the things, not only started. First of all, one of the most important tasks to create such kind of liaison with your management guru. Here we are just using on our research guide. Until or unless we are not be in positions to be manage or create such kind of liaison, we are not being positioned, my dear all, to be just accomplish our work well in time. Another, you are just seeing same like management about getting things done. Same like that, research is such kind of a stream by which we not only can have an opportunity to be just create something new, something innovative, something that will not be done or that was actually done, but we are now in position how we can just create or change the whole aspects, whole scenario. Also, now research is just such kind of field having various kinds of areas, same like management, undertaken to accomplish a task successfully. But why we are just using this term? Definitely, because if we are a good manager, same like that, we will be a good researcher. Until or unless we are not be just in position to be manage rest of the things, like sometimes professional, sometimes very personal, because most of the researchers or research candidates or the research scholars, when they are in positions to be pursuing their career in the field of PhD, so definitely they will just playing their dual personality, their dual role. First of all, they will manage rest of the things inside the campus, inside the house, inside the organization, inside the academic institute. On another side, they will play their roles like to do various tasks, being a teacher, being a professor, being a sir or ma'am or etc. So there is a great resemblance. Now, the same we will do. We will see that in a firm or a business organization or a research institutes, a person who is basically known as a researcher or a manager, process of designing and maintaining an environment in which individuals working together in various groups efficiently accomplish selected. There are so many aims, so many objectives, so many goals, so many targets, so many views. And now, there is a slight difference in which various terminologies we are just using here. As when we are just talking about goals, so that means we will achieve it within a certified short period of time. But when we are talking about objectives, definitely it will be taking more time. And we will require always a greater duration to be accomplished or fulfill such kind of objectives. Because being a researcher, being a research scholar, being a research guy, it is our first and foremost objectives to be create something new, something innovative, something was maybe happened, but now at present scenario, we are in position to be just doing something new, something different. And that's why we are just using think big, think beyond. Such kind of course you are just seeing since morning till evening till night at many places, just front of the vehicles, transportations, various walls of various institutes. They are using it. And the actual meaning of this, yes, our thinking should be high, should be broad. Until or unless we are not thinking broad aspects, how we will be in positions to be achieve it. Though sometimes a researcher or a man or a manager will try at their level previous efforts to be doing their research on a very fantastic level, being a manager to be manage the rest of the things either inside the organization as well as outside the organization. So in a very neat and clean, cool and calm way. And if we are just talking about an ordinary man or a common man, so definitely we are in position to do such kind of task or such kind of things so nicely that we will just manage or maintain a great coordination and balance. And as we know, on behalf of management aspects, generally we are using coordination is the essence of management. I'm just using this thoughts with my student. Yes, my dear scholars, coordination is such kind of essence. You can be used at various places when you are pursuing your research activities. For your kind information, now at this time, there are so many research scholars came to me with their various types of problems. Yes, of course, sir, how we will just connect it, how we will just face it, how we will just resolve out. Undoubtedly, one of the most dearer, one of the best friend and the youngest patron of this organizing committee of Excel Research Management Association, India, Professor Dr. Kapil Chandoria, has already provided there one of the most important and fantastic point of views on this. Because before starting the concept of research or whatsoever, the review of literatures or the data or the sources or whatsoever, various things, it should be one of the most necessary part to understand that if we want to do a good research, so first of all, how we will select it. Because in not only my opinion, I am 100% assured that regarding the comparable to the yesterday one, today, most of the person, most of the delegates, most of the research scholars, and most of the researchers, professors, or industry persons at this time connected with this program of 7 days research methodology workshop, that a research started always from that point where we just feel a problem. And to detect such problems, Professor Kapil Chandoria sir has already been discussed so many views, and in a very soft and neat and clean way. Though, and that is his beauty. Yes, he is a mastermind regarding various aspects of research. And definitely, he is such kind of persons who just not only study about research, teach about research, but also live with the research. And that is one of the fantastic way. Being a research scholar, if a research scholar can just try his or her level best efforts to follow him, undoubtedly learn a lot. And yes, my dear, as I have just seen out the hundreds of compliments, various, sometimes few number of comments also coming from your side. We welcome you all, definitely, because until or unless you are not provide us feedback, most of the time we hope positively, but sometimes if it is not be positively or less than positively, so that will be a challenging task for us. And yes, of course, to doing this one in a very sweet, neat and clean way, one of the best ways that, as we are just seeing throughout my career, if we can take an example of one of the legendary cricketer, Sachin Tendulkar. Yes, when he was just entered in the world of international cricket, only 14 years old, a young boy. And when he started in his first match against Pakistan, at that time, the cricket team of Pakistan was undoubtedly one of the fantastic teams and one of the horrible teams, because in that time, such team of Pakistan just fulfilled with like weapons, Imran Khan, Javed Miandad, Wasim Akram, Akib Javed, and such kind of various fastest bowlers as well as nice batsmen. Also, one of the world-class spinner, right? So they say, okay, oh my dear young boy, it is not the time to be playing this cricket. At the time, our legendary cricketer not replied something. But after the match, the whole scenario, especially the highest publicated popular newspaper, Dawn, enlightened with the enchantings positively regarding the fulfillment or the congratulations to that young boy whose name is Sachin Tendulkar. He not only scored, but also every shot won the heart of that particular audience at that time when present in the stadium. So definitely say like that, when a researcher go ahead with a fantastic approach, either he or she will conquer one by one various things. And definitely one day, a day came that will become one of the most memorable day of his or her life. Now, after that, you are just seeing the slides. Why we require the universal need for management? I said, my dear student, we not only require the universal need for management throughout the global world, but also we require the universal need for research. Because yes, as we know, we all are living in the age of COVID-19. And what is going on? For the meantime, since last previous month of the March 2019, again, it came back. And that was the duration, the same duration we are seeing after post-COVID-19 scenario. Though, first of all, during the first phase, peoples were afraid. But now, peoples are ready. We are ready to face it. Why? That is possible only due to the efforts of great research management. We are now positioned to be just created various kinds of vaccines so that we can feel us in safe and secure zone. And yes, undoubtedly, for such kind of efforts, our sincere thanks on behalf of the organizing secretary of the 7th Research Methodology Workshop Program, or the Honorable Secretary of Excel Research Management Association, India. I would like to pay my sincere gratitude and thanks to the state governments, various state governments, especially government of Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. Though also, we pay my sincere gratitude towards the central government of India, and undoubtedly our most idol prime ministers, Shri Narendra Modi ji, one of the fantastic personality who always tries level the best efforts without showing tiredness. unstoppable work from his side. Same like a researcher. A researcher also wants such kind of craze to be just doing such kind of task, unstoppable, until or unless either he or she will not feel satisfied. Same like that. So that is the basic reason. First of all, for doing such kind of things, we will understand the value of research or the value of same like management just in front of us. Why we require universal need for management? Because here you are just seeing that definitely if I'm in position to be just showing you the full screen slides, so you are just seeing more clear now. So the universal degree of management showing good management is needed in all organizations. But I'm sad that good research, the management of good research is needed in all organizations. And that should be a mandatory part of each organization, either academics or non-academics. Everybody wants to be the requirement or the basic needs of research. And now, my dear all, one of the most important information, our Excel Research Management Association is doing such kind of task, unstoppable. As our previous session, during the first day, our chief patron, Honorable Professor Dr. Avinash Vajpayee sir, said that undoubtedly all Armenians' contributions are amazing. And I agree with him 100% that now at which place we created the position of ARMA is only due to the efforts of our all Albanians. They required a very talented efforts, so tireless efforts, so toil, so work hard that continuously back to back, especially recently, just before 1 month, we have already organized one of the fantastic national conference on digital aspects, because in the scenario of COVID, it is one of the most important tasks to be aware each and everyone. And yes, ARMA is playing in such kind of doing things through research stage, research level. And definitely, we are in position only due to the presence of your side. So I would like also thanks to all the audience, participants, delegates, near and dearers present at this time during the another research activities program organized by Excel Research Management Association. Yes, another one of the most important tasks, the reality of work. Now, the first type of work we are just showing, that should be verbal. Another type of work is on the paper. But when we are types, another types of work we are just showing during its execution. And ARMA believes undoubtedly all the types of works, and especially focus not only saying, not only promising, but also doing such things on practical ways, practical aspects. Same like in an organization, various employees as well as employer work together, and only in that kind of situation they are in position to be achieve their final objectives. And as a result of this, also rewards and challenges of being a manager. Definitely, same like manager, a researcher also feel that is not be a part of problematic to be doing a good research, but think always like there will be a problem, there will be a great challenge for a researcher, for a manager, for a person, and yes, of course, research management offers challenging, exciting, and creative opportunities for meaningful and fulfilling works, because that will create the actual value. If you're doing work, if your research work is not meaningful, and that will not be accomplished, the goals, the objectives, or the targets you want to be showing your research guide, or the manager wants to be showing their honor. So how we can say that it will be a meaningful work? So in that position, it will not be create such kind of value of studying. And also success, yes. Success, one of the fantastic terminology. You are just seeing that we will always in positions to be received significant monetary rewards for their efforts. But that will be a part of post. But before starting this stage, first of all, we should be try our level biggest efforts to be doing such kind of things previously. And now here during a diagrammatic sketch, you are just seeing there are in the middle of management is needed. Or why the universal need for management? I'm just using the quotes. Universal need for research management. Because if this world is not needed, research management, so we will not be in positions to be just taken a breath of relief in the era of this COVID-19 scenario. Because as we are just hearing on daily basis, various dangerous news coming from various states, various corners of our country. Different states are just showing the increasing graph of this COVID. And that will be stopped only with the help of such kind of efforts of a researcher. So that we are in positions to be just showing undoubtedly one of the fantastic efforts. And now you are just seeing that universal need for research management always required in different sizes of organizations. Sometimes the size of organization is small, and sometimes the size of organization is large. Also, all types of organizations may be working. Some organizations are working for profit mode and some are for non-profit. And various organizations focus 50-50 because they are in positions to be maintain a beautiful coordination among both. Now, another level you are just seeing all organization levels, we can be just measure from bottom to the top. If we are just coming from bottom to the top, then only we can see that yes, now we are in position to be just pursuing our level in increasing order. But if we are just coming from top to the bottom, so that means we are not showing increasing, we are showing our decreasing level. And that will not be in favor of anybody else. So that we again require research. Doing something in a different way so that we can maintain it. Now, all organizations, areas, manufacturing, marketing, human resource, accounting, information system, or system, various. Yesterday, Professor Kapils was also just telling about 2 types of area, which will be one of the most important requirements to be select an appropriate title. One of the most important crucial problems during doing your research on initial stage. So first of all, You will hold out the soft area, and another one is specific geographically. So soft area, that will be a part of either retail, from FMCG, from wholesalers, various kinds. You can take an example of apparel, shoes, plastics, etc. But now we are in position not only to be choose this one, though also we are choosing that in which type of soft area we want to be just create such kind of either related to the, one of the most important variable, for example, sale. So being a seller, if we want to increase our sale, so definitely we will require such kind of area in which our business should be flow very smoothly. And now, for doing this, undoubtedly, we require efficiency and effectiveness. Being a researcher, being a research scholar, if we are focused on these two terms, first is efficiency, another one is effectiveness. Undoubtedly, we are in positions to be just doing such kind of things in case of management as well as research, or we can say research management. Because efficiency always showing our researchers in the right direction, right way, doing things right. But when we are using effectiveness, so that means we are just saying doing the right things. Yes, of course. If we will follow the first way, doing things right, so that means we will get the most output for the least inputs. But if we are not in positions to be just doing such kind of times, we have another second option. And definitely, that is the part of doing the right things. We should not be following such kind of ways, such kind of ways to be just following the concepts of ethics. Because yes, ethics is one of the most important part of any research. Because at present scenario, it is one of the most sincere demand of, because number of researchers we are just seeing at present scenario, they are just copying the contents and just paste it on same to same. But as we have already listened on yesterday session, that no more research being a good research without following the concept of ethics. So if on behalf of being a researcher, we should try to be just following the things from others, no problem at all. We can use it because any fantastic work from a researcher side, and this researcher may be a great author, great orator, great writer, great linguistic persons. Though, if either he or she will preserve his or her data in such kind of form, which will be fruitful for the forthcoming generations of researchers. And yes, now the present researchers using such contents in the form of review of literature. Now I'm just coming on topics, especially with the help of such kind of discussion regarding, and now you are just seeing, when we are talking about research, so definitely research is such kind of words basically composed of the two terms. The first term is re, and another term is search. Definitely simple. Search everybody knows. We are just searching something on our daily basis. Suppose, can you imagine? Everybody can be searched. Everybody can be searched on his or her basis, though they have a passion, because search is an ordinary terminology. But when we are talking about research, so that means search again and again and again. My dear research scholars or the participants, undoubtedly, such type of research, that is not as an ordinary act. That is a specific act. And yes, of course, because search is added as a suffix and re is added as a prefix. So when we are just using the concept of prefix or suffix, so definitely we are in position to be just showing the exact measurement of these two terms. So before going on that particular point, first of all, we should be focused on these quotes, on these statements, or the sentence composed by one of the most legendary authors, Redman Edmore. During the 17th century, that research is a systematized efforts to gain new knowledge. Yes, at first time, they not only be search or identify, but also detect it. Yes, research is a systematized effort. Of course, if we are talking about search is an effort, search is an effort. Yes, an ordinary statement. But when we are using research, so research is a systematized effort. That means we can compare here the concept of the terminology research with the same concepts of science. What is science? Definitely, science is a systematic knowledge. Science is a systematic knowledge of anything else, which we will prove on a practical aspects with the help of such kind of efforts. And that's why. But so what is search? Search is an artistic point of view. And that is the reason, that's why I am today starting this concept of today, second day research methodology workshop from management. Because that's what we have said about management. Management is an art. Management is an art on initial stage. Number of management gurus follow it. But after some time, some of the another management gurus came in limelight and they used, sorry my dear, management is an art as well as science. Of course. So why they will use the term science before that? Because definitely same like that. Search is an art. And we are talking about search again and again and again, converted into research. And research means an artistic act with the help of science. Same like science, we require, there are so many tools or techniques or methods to be just pursuing our research in a fantastic way, in the right direction, to be just gaining. Yes. Now, focus on the statement, my dear, all. Research is a systematized effort to gain. हम efforts क्यों कर रहे हैं? Why we are doing this kind of efforts? To gain new knowledge. Definitely we want to be just pure or grasp such kind of deep knowledge regarding any subjects, any topics, any contents, any paras, anything else. And that was the main height or latent purpose was cleared by one of these two legendary philosophers as well as management gurus, Professor Bradman and Hall. And after the great work of these two, now we can find that research is the systematic process. Okay. Now, first of all, they both were said that research is a systematized effort. But now, people agree that research is also a systematic process. Science is also a systematic process. If we are not going through science systematically, we will not be reach up to the final conclusion. And same process we will follow in the case of either research with the help of some management tools or techniques. So that means undoubtedly there is a great connectivity between research, management, science, arts, various subjects. We can do research in each and every subject on our level. Either we are talking about Hindi or English or science or geography, maybe history, mathematics, and whatsoever. In each and every field, we require such kind of deepest knowledge of research so that we can be not only enlightened us with the absolute knowledge of that particular subjects, but also we are in position to create something different, something new, something innovative. Yes, of course. And to do such kind of things, definitely, first of all, we will require to be just understanding. What? Regarding collection. Number 1. Number 2, analyzation. Regarding data or information. For why? In order to increase our understanding. Why we require these 3 things? To increase our understanding. अपनी समझ को बढ़ाने के लिए. Why we are just pursuing such kind of research activities at present scenario? Just only to increase our knowledgeable level, so that we can just confine. There are so many ways, so many fields, so many methods, different types of research we are just pursuing. Our Honorable Genghis Petron already said on yesterday. Yes, there are so many types of research, my dear. Sometimes we are using descriptive research. Sometimes we are using confirmative research. Sometimes we are using analytical research. Sometimes we are using action research. Sometimes we are using causal research. So that is, yes, of course. So to increase our understanding of the phenomenon. What do you mean by phenomenon? Phenomenon means an activity, a series of acts, a bundle of acts. About what? About which we are concerned or interested. Of course, until or unless we are not interested to do something, so how we can just knowing about it in the deepest form of knowledge? So first of all, it is one of the most important aspects. It is one of the most important aspects to create our interest. Yes, of course. Many of the times, most of the parents came to me, most of the students came to me, and they just complain, sir, now we are not in positions to understand these concepts. We are not in positions to understand the methodology of a particular faculty. Okay. First I listen to them very patiently and then say, okay, my dear, if you are not feel comfortable, then no problem at all. You may just bow down your heads sometimes and be cool and calm. And if you are not feeling so cool and calm in that situation, but definitely just after having complete of your lectures, you may just meet me in my free time lectures, so that I will first talk to him or her in detail and also talk to that particular faculty members in my department. Because at present scenario, I'm not only working as a head of the department, but also I'm also working as a dean in the School of Management and Commerce, Sanskriti University, Mathura. One of the most fantastic university in NCR, just situated at the bank of National Highway 2. When you are going from National Highway 2 from Agra to Delhi, that just in the range of Mathura district, in between Chhata and Kosi. So definitely, but now at this time, I'm playing my role as a keynote speaker of the session. So it is not only my duty as well as responsibility to be clear you people. First of all, why we are here. There are so many keynote speakers will come, definitely, and they will enlighten you with their deep text part of the knowledgeable aspects of various research topics. But definitely, before understanding them, it is not only our duty as well as responsibility being the part of this 7 days national conference on research methodology, especially focused on social sciences point of views, that we should be learning, we should be understand what is the actual meaning of the term research. The rest of the things after that. So, my dear all, research is the systematic process of collecting and analyzing information in the form of data. Sometimes this data is in raw form. Okay. Sometimes this data is in raw form. So it is our duty. First, we use various filters and purify it. Because as we know, if the usable material is not in pure form, so what will happen? You are just purchasing 2 kg of apples from the market and coming to your home and just share it with your family members. But if 1 or 2 pieces should be not good up to the quality aspects, they may be rotten inside. So what will happen? Your family will suffer. Same like that, if a researcher is not doing this raw form of data in pure form, definitely their research work will not be confined up to the mark. There may be a question arises at any time, at anywhere, at any place. And that situation will be not favorable, neither in the account of that particular research scholar, nor their respectable or honorable research client. So definitely, it is our moral responsibility. We are just doing, we are just following the research ethics in order to increase our understanding of the phenomenon about which we are concerned or interested. Okay? So research is the systematic process of collecting and analyzing information or data in order to increase our understanding. One more thing is clear. If we want to increase our understanding, especially in case of research, so that means, first of all, we should collect our data in a very good form. And after that, if it will not be possible, so definitely we will go through this analyzation form systematically. Only in that situation, we are in positions to increase our understanding of the phenomenon about which we are concerned. So we should always try to our level the best efforts to create such kind of taste or preferences. Yes, of course. Until or unless there are so many types of vegetables available in the market at every time, at present scenario. But why we are just choosing some of them? As per according our taste or preference. Same is with the case of a researcher. There are so many types of research available at 24/7 in the present scenario. But being a researcher, It is our duty as well as responsibility to be just selected as according to taste of preference. What type of research we want to be just doing in future point of view. Okay. And now, another one of the very, very most important aspects, we are just now. So now you are just seeing a research process. On the next slides, one of the very, very most important part. After the discussion on research, now we are trying our level the best efforts to be just sharing the slides to be understood the concepts of research process. Here you are just seeing there are clear-cut 9 blocks, 9 blue blocks are looking so fantastically arrangements in a fantastic chronological order. Yes, of course, because we are just talking about research, and for research, to understand research process, first and foremost requirement is research should be systematic. So that's why we are arranging these boxes. Systematic. And now I'm assured that the shape and size of each 9 box remain same, remain consistent. And one of the another thing to be understood also, the shape and size of arrows. And why we are using arrows? Everybody knows. For direction. Because being a researcher, if we are not choose right direction for our research, so we will not only doing the research in the right way, we are not in positions to doing never at any time the research on the right way. So now when we are talking about research process, definitely first of all, the research process, a systematic process or such kind of methods includes these 9 steps, sequential order. Just in front of you, first of all, number 1, problem identification. Now we are talking about problem identification, and not more time we will take on this point because it has been already discussed by our Honorable Professor Kapil Rajchandra sir yesterday during the first day. In the second half, that if a researcher wants to be pursuing or doing a very good research, so definitely either he or she will go through the absolute problem identification. And under these concepts, he told us that to be just identify the actual problem or the actual research problems, we will always start to be set out a perfect title or the topics for our research. And that will be possible only due to the help of basically 4 things. First of all, action. Such action included, there are so many tasks. Another one is soft area. Another one is geographical area. Another one is variables. So do you think about, am I stated these research point of view correctly? No, my dear. First, we should be focused on action. And then variable. Yes, of course, to detect variables. How many number of variables present in our selected topics or title of the research? Sometimes it may be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe more than 4. And now, after that, soft area. This soft area identify regarding in which field your taste and preference. Recently, we have already discussed. Until or unless we don't create our taste or preference in a particular field, we are not in positions to be doing the right things. So we should also focus on it. And that is why, this is the main reason. That's why this field of higher education also classified, segmentized into various kinds of specialization. Though I am a person of management background, so I know very well. There are so many types of specialization for our respective students. Right? First of all, one of the most favorable or popular, and that is marketing management. The second one is financial management. The third one is human resource management. And the fourth one is healthcare management. And the fifth one is hospitality management. Okay? And there are a lot of specializations. But these are the mainly used or selected by our honorable respectable students and their parents' choice. So before the selection of this specialized area, first of all, we should be understood why we should be, on behalf of being a student or being a scholar, selected. Because if being a student, being a scholar, we want to make our career in the service sector, definitely we will always focus on marketing management, specialization in marketing management. Why? The reason behind that, because at present scenario, there are a number of opportunities in this field, in this specialization, in this segment. And that is the main reason. A major part of our society prefer marketing management specialization. So that means I will not be just against the rest of the specialization. If we are going through sequential way, my research already identified regarding the selection of the specialization area. The second area, most of the part of the second major portion of society selected, and that is financial management. Yes, of course. Number of opportunities in banking sector, insurance sectors, or financial institutions on government level, state government level, central government level, private level. Okay? Yes, of course, entrepreneur level. And yes, as per the research data set, the third specialization is human resource management. as per the demand or the requirement for its selection. Because we know very well. And yes, one of the most favorable specialization, especially for the gender point of view, I'm just talking about the female feminine. Of course, most of the girls, most of the young lady selected their specialization, human resource. And after that, another field which has been on high level creating its choice of adoption, especially after the post-COVID-19 scenario. The specialization in healthcare management. By this, all I would like to share with you people, especially not only from our Indian students, but also on abroad level students. Because at present scenario, there are number of foreign candidates. They belongs to Ghana, Nigeria, various parts of Africa, Kenya, Bangladesh, Singapore, and also Afghanistan. They prefer and adopt the specialization in HCM, healthcare management. The reason behind that, when we are communicating with them, so they said to me, sir, there is a high demand in our country. And that is the reason they are coming here to pursuing their career with these specializations. Great. And recently, we have already organized an international conference with the conference of the number of, I think, 7 African countries, collaborations, an international conference recently, in the month of March. And after that, hospitality. Yes, of course, after post-COVID-19 scenario, one of the most demandable field, hospitality and care management. Because everybody knows, at that time, when nobody wants to be coming out from their house, either a kids or a young or the old age person. Some of the people's just doing their duties with great responsible sense. And yes, of course, undoubtedly, they are the health department persons. Thanks to them, thanks to all, I pay my absolute sincere gratitude as well as send to them. Because if they are not pursuing their duties well on time, so the situations may be more fatal comparatively to the European countries, to our country. And also, the whole administration, they were also pursuing their duty with full passion, with full sacrificing mode. And that will create an example for the world. A world-class hospitality we are seeing in our country during the COVID-19 scenario. So yes, of course, that is the basic cause. So we can be just identified. First of all, one of the most important step is problem identification. A lot of discussion, I think Professor Kapil sir has been discussed with you people. Though, if anything else, he's always been ready. Now, the second step during research process is review of literatures. Definitely. As its name indicated, review of literature. Again, I've discussed it in details. And the third one is formulation of hypothesis. Fourth one is research design or methodology. The fifth one is collection of data. And the sixth one is analysis of collected data. The seventh one is interpretation of analyzed data. The eighth one is results preparation. And the ninth one is mentioning bibliography. Yes, of course. So, we will not take in much more time, especially on rest of the steps, because that will come one by one in front of you by the various keynote speakers during these 7 days research methodology workshop. And they will share with their views, especially on various topics. And now, one of the most important tasks I would like to be shared in a very sweet and brief manner. That if we are just talking about the formulation of hypothesis, so first of all, we are in positions. Sometimes such kind of opinions we create, we set, or we had or have. But either we will go ahead, or we will stop, or we will go backward side. So sometimes it may be a result 0, or maybe positive, plus, or maybe negative, minus. It's same like that. Hypothesis, it pre-assumptions, or sometimes assumptions or post-assumptions in the form of either various classifications, likewise null hypothesis or alternative hypothesis. Yes, of course, as its name indicated, when the hypothesis becomes 0, it gives results as 0. So that means we are just following the concepts of null hypothesis. Neither it may be positive nor it may be negative. It will become 0 or null. And the same like that, if we are talking about alternative hypothesis, so that means we are following the concepts of either positive hypothesis or with another view, negative hypothesis. If positive, we can go ahead, go forward side. If negative, just stop or sustain immediately at that particular point. Otherwise, our minus points will be increased. And definitely, after that, research design or research methodology, one of the very, very most important part in doing research. How we will decide our research methodology or research design? Definitely one of the most important and fantastic steps under research process. There are so many most important points include inside research design or research methodology. Likewise, what is the number of sample size? Number of sample size. Yes. Which type of research you are using? From where you collect your data? How many types of tools or tactics you are using? Sometimes it may be reliability test, sometimes it may be validity test, sometimes it may be t-test, sometimes it may be chi-square test, sometimes it may be ANOVA test, sometimes it may be MANOVA test, or whatsoever test. Sometimes we are using the simple way sometimes specific. Now, another number is of research process, the fifth, collection of data. Yes, of course. It depends on feasibility. It depends on flexibility. It depends on our license, from where we can collect our data easily. But sometimes the situations are not in favor of a researcher. So what he will do or she will do? Definitely, either he or she will just try, if you have level the best efforts to manage the rest of the things, create license and do it. And definitely, there are, as we know, two types of data. We have to be collected it. The first is primary data. Another one is secondary data. When we are talking about primary data collection, so definitely we are just talking about the collection of data which has no its previous confirmation. The data which has no its previous records. The data which not have its historic record. That is basically identified as a primary data. So how we will collect it? Definitely we are talking about the present scenario of COVID-19 scenario. So that means we have just collected our primary data with the help of questionnaires, my dear. First of all, we will prepare questionnaire. Sometimes these questionnaires is in written form. When physically possible, to be create such kind of connectivity. But if that will not be possible, so we will go through online activities, or we will send our questionnaires through emails to our target audience, one of the most favorable customers, so that they will respond us. On behalf of a researcher or research scholar side, we will just create a fantastic and fabulous request from our side. Dear sir, dear ma'am, kindly take your time, and if possible, please fill it and reply us as soon as possible. It will be definitely create a marvelous contribution from your side, and we will never forget. So such kind of language you should be used during the collection of online primary data. Sometimes to collect the primary data, we are also using telephonic tactics, telephonic communication, one of the best way during this COVID-19 scenario. Okay, yes. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ma'am. So, my dear friends, near or dear, whatsoever, you can use first of all an appropriate form of salutations, and then after only you will just come to the point. If you have few minutes, so I want some important information, and that informations play a very important role into completing my research work. Please, sir, please, ma'am. Sometimes it will not be possible. At first time, they will just positive response to it. And what you will do? You should try again and again and again. You should never, never, never at any time will forget. You are doing research. Search again, again, and again. Now, other types of data collection, that is secondary data. Secondary data, my dear, the data which have its historic records. had its previous proofs of presence. And to collect this data, there are so many resources. Help us. First of all, our daily newspaper. But now, undoubtedly, it's a very, very shameful situation at present scenario. Our kids, as well as youngsters, they don't like to be just reading newspapers on daily basis. Now think, you people all, how many number of you among us to be just read out daily newspaper? Though in place of it, you are using your mobile phones on regular basis, continue, though you know the side effects. I'm just talking about the negative side effects of the excess use of mobiles or the technology. Though we are using, okay, that will also create a fruitful result to be collected secondary types of data. And also, go to your library, create such kind of habits. That is very, very tough task at present scenario. Because again, the same thing. Our youngsters said, our kids said, sir, we have this smartphone. Everything is in it. Just using their fingers, spoiling their eyes, as well as mind also. But they are unstoppable using such kind of things. But that will also create, if we are using it positively, help in to collect the secondary data. We can also collect our secondary data with the help of published or unpublished work, especially in the form of sometimes research articles, research papers in national as well as international journals. Or sometimes conference proceedings also play a very, very important role. And yes, definitely. So after these steps, we are now on the next steps, analysis of collected data. After the collection of data, we will go its analysis. And analysis of data always with the help of some most important tools or techniques. Right? Likewise, reliability test, validity test, t-test, check test, chi-square test, analysis of variance, ANOVA, MANOVA, or etc. So these are the various tools or techniques through which we can go ahead with the analytical part of the collected data. And we are just using these steps. We will filter our data. And sometimes we are using such kind of form of data. And after that, another important process, the second step is interpretation of analyzed data. After the analyzation of data, we will interpret it. Yes, of course, now after using of these tools or techniques, such kind of findings comes in front of us. These are one of the most important part of research findings. And after research findings, we will confine our result with the help of conclusion. We will prepare our results with the help of research findings and then prepare our results with the help of conclusion. Sometimes we are also using another most important part, and that will come in form of suggestion. Because as in the initial, I've already said, none research is to be stopped. It is only the mindset of a researcher that, okay, I have just completed this one. either when we are talking about a research paper preparation or a thesis preparation or an article preparation whatsoever. But that means that will the part of another researcher's point of view will become research. Okay, and finally mentioning bibliography. Yes, of course, we will showing our references from where we have to be collected such kind of data. And yes, these references is one of the very, very most important part of review of literatures, my dear. Because if these are not be mentioned, finally, last but not the least, our whole research process will be stopped or meaningless. So now, let me start one of the most important part. Yes, of course. So regarding review of literatures, purpose of review, to gain a background knowledge of the research topic. Okay, so don't worry. Just I have some information from the team sites. Definitely, we will just sum up within the 10 minutes, not more than 10 minutes. So when we are just talking about the purpose of review, so that means to gain a background knowledge of the research topic. One of the most important tasks. There are 3 points we have to be focused on behalf of the researcher side. The first is better, the second one is uniqueness, and the third one is no repetition. So for a fantastic review of literatures, these 3 points should be in the mind of a researcher or a research scholar. We will always try our level, the best efforts to be doing fantastic or the better, because we are using here neither good nor the best, better. So because better is showing a comparative terminology. So in comparatively to the previous one, which type of work we are just in doing better than the previous. So we should always focus on the better aspects. Uniqueness, yes, uniqueness means something different. Most of the time we are just seeing, okay, fantastic. We will just provide you something different. There are a lot of convent schools, but some of the convent schools are running on high level, some of the convent schools are on low level. The reason between all, among all, that is the uniqueness. Sometimes the quality of the academics much better. And due to that, more parents and students will be attracted towards that particular organization. Now, no repetition. Yes, of course. When we are just selected an appropriate review, we will not repeat it again. We will try our level the best efforts as per the previous discussion of Dr. Kapil sir, that we will just try our level the best efforts to be create something new, either to be create something change in the action words, something change in the variable aspects, something change in the soft region, something change in the geographically. But we will have to be changed, not repeat it again. Because if the same reviews repeat it again, so that will not be create a very good or positive impact. Now, sources of literatures, books and journals, electronic database, government and industry reports, published and unpublished thesis, dissertations, newspapers, magazines, others, or etc. So such kind of things I will have already discussed with you people. Though If anything else in the query form, please welcome, because time is so limited. And before to start this process of questioning hour, I would like to pay my sincere thanks to all the participants, delegates, presents, professors, various industry persons, and all the Armenians at this time, because without your presence, it will not be possible to create such kind of fantastic 7 days research methodology workshop related to social science aspects.
आपके
So
यदि
before
कोई
saying thanks, if anything else, most welcome.
हाँ, आपके कोई प्रश्न हो, कोई सवाल हो, तो आपके लिए ये मंच ओपन है। आप लोग अपने रिव्यू से रिलेटेड, सैम्पलिंग से रिलेटेड कोई भी प्रश्न डायरेक्ट प्रोफेसर सीपी वर्मा सर से पूछ सकते हैं। प्लीज आप लोग कोई भी किसी की कोई क्वेरी हो बात कर सकते हैं।
सर मैं डॉक्टर दिलीप जानी बात कर रहा हूँ, गवर्नमेंट इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज गुजरात से।
Okay.
So this time researcher will have faced most of the difficulty regarding the write-up work they will have to prepare in form of a plagiarism checking. Plagiarism कैसे चेक करना, ये बहुत बड़ी एक चुनौती रहती है रिसर्चर के सामने जब भी वो कोई जर्नल में आर्टिकल डालता है तब। तो ये प्लेगरिज्म सॉफ्टवेयर क्यों नहीं इसको AICTE या UGC उनकी वेबसाइट के ऊपर जो रजिस्टर्ड फैकल्टी है या PhD सुपरवाइजर है, इनके लिए फ्री किया जाए, क्योंकि बहुत दिक्कतों का सामना है। हमारे पास टर्निटिन जैसा अवेलेबल सॉफ्टवेयर भी अभी नहीं है, क्योंकि गुजरात टेक्नोलॉजिकल यूनिवर्सिटी ने कुछ साल पहले इनका रजिस्ट्रेशन लिया था, फिर ऑटोमेटिकली कैंसिल कर दिया। तो रिसर्चर अब क्या करे, मतलब प्लेगरिज्म चेकिंग के लिए ये बहुत बड़ी एक चुनौती आ रही है। गवर्नमेंट तो बहुत ज्यादा योजनाएं पैसा खर्च कर रही है, लेकिन जो बेसिक है कि कोई प्लेगरिज्म प्लेटफॉर्म दिया जाए, वो सबसे पहले रिसर्चर अपना वहां चेक करे, फिर कोई जनरल के लिए कम्युनिकेट करे।
Definitely, sir. First of all, a very fantastic query from your side. And undoubtedly, one of the most important aspects regarding the plagiarism, if we want to be just get rid of such kind of problem, so we will use at present scenario various types of softwares. Likewise, if I'm just saying, especially at this time in my Sanskriti University, we are just using the software Orkun. With the help of Orkun, we will just clarify what is the current status of plagiarism. If it will be more than 10%, then we will again send it to our researchers so that they will just revise it. And initially, मैंने एक बात अभी कही थी इससे पहले वाली स्लाइड में और बताया भी था कि yes, there are 3 things, sir. जो कंटेंट एक रिसर्चर ने तैयार किया है, सबसे पहले तो वो ये देखे कि उसमें रिपीटेशन तो ज्यादा नहीं हो रहा है। अगर रिपीटेशन हो रहा है तो काइंडली रिवाइज इट, काइंडली रिवाइज इट्स टर्मिनोलॉजी, काइंडली रिवाइज इट्स टेंस फॉर्म, काइंडली रिवाइज इट्स स्पीच, because during this in a paragraph, if all these 3 or 4 points either he or she will just confine, definitely उसका जो plagiarism issue है वो automatically resolve out हो जाएगा।
Okay, thank you sir for answering my question. खूब आभार।
Sir, इससे related my query, sir. How can we access Orkun, sir? I am a research scholar in Jamia, Anil Kumar. My name is Anil Kumar, sir.
Definitely.
How can I get the software of Orkun that is accessible to the research scholar also?
Definitely, sir. Definitely. That will be a paid software actually. So none of the average scholars or definitely. But some of the softwares we are just using through networking sites. by which we can be confined or we can be removed out
Sir.
of plagiarism status of our research report.
That is true, sir. Sir, any software that is available free of cost at the Google or somewhere that we can also refine it on our own level, sir?
Definitely, sir. You can search out. You will just get.
Okay, sir.
Some of the softwares
Okay, sir.
are just providing their services. But one more thing, sir. If you are using such kind of software more than 2 times, so definitely your plagiarism status will be increased. They are showing just sometimes negative response also. So please be careful.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome.
सॉरी फॉर
Next.
इंटरप्शन. मैं इस पर थोड़ा सा अपनी बात बोलना चाहूंगा.
Sir.
सर, कुछ ऐसे फ्री सॉफ्टवेयर अवेलेबल हैं, लेकिन उनकी लिमिटेशन है कि वो ओनली 1000 वर्ड को ही स्कैन करते हैं, 1000 वर्ड को ही चेक करते हैं एट ए टाइम. हम लोग क्या करें, जैसे हम लोग कई अपनी थीसिस हो या हमारा डिजर्टेशन और रिसर्च पेपर हो सकता है 5000 वर्ड हो, हम उसको 5 डिवीजन में 5 डिवाइड करेंगे, 5 पोर्शन को हम 1000 वर्ड के हिसाब से फ्री सॉफ्टवेयर में चेक कर सकते हैं. जैसा कि सर ने बताया कि आप 2 बार से ज्यादा प्लेगरिज्म चेक नहीं कर सकते, वरना वो आपका ही डेटा को प्लेगरिज्म में बताएगा. जब आप एक बार पूरा प्लेगरिज्म 1000 वर्ड करके आपने ले लिया, सभी को सारी रिपोर्ट्स में आपने प्लेगरिज्म देखा, किसी में 20%, किसी में 2%, किसी में 3%, किसी में 4%, सबको जोड़ करके 5 से डिवाइड करेंगे तो आपको ओवरऑल प्लेगरिज्म आ जाएगा. और अब आप उसको रिमूव कर सकते हैं. वो आपको अंडरलाइन करके देगा और आप जहां भी अंडरलाइन करें आप उसको रिमूव करके लास्ट टाइम, सेकंड टाइम बिल्कुल श्योर हो करके आप दोबारा से प्लेगरिज्म चेक करें. यदि वहां पर 10% से कम है तो आप इसको पब्लिकेशन में दे सकते हैं. तो कोशिश करें, कई फ्री सॉफ्टवेयर अवेलेबल है रिसर्चर के लिए. और अगर ये आप अर्कुन की बात करते हैं, सर ने बताया कि वो एक पेड सॉफ्टवेयर है. जो आपकी इंस्टीट्यूट होती है वो उसको पर स्कैनिंग पेड करती है आपकी इंस्टीट्यूट, इसलिए बहुत सी इंस्टीट्यूट इसको परचेस नहीं करते, और परचेस करते तो उसके सब्सक्रिप्शन को अनसब्सक्राइब करना पड़ता है उनको किसी कारण से. लेकिन अगर आपके में ऐसी रिकमेंडेशन है तो आप अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी के रजिस्ट्रार को बोलें, बात करें, आप उनको राइटिंग में दें कि सर हमको प्लेगरिज्म सॉफ्टवेयर चाहिए, हम लोग अपनी रिसर्च करते हैं, अच्छी रिसर्च हम लोग उस पर चेक करना चाहते हैं, तो आपके रजिस्ट्रार, आपके अथॉरिटी आपकी बिल्कुल मदद करेगी. ठीक है, तो मैंने इतनी ही बात बोलनी थी. सॉरी फॉर इंटरप्शन.
अरे नो सर, थैंक यू सो मच डॉक्टर. ऐसे ही थोड़ी हम आपको कहते हैं कि यू आर वन ऑफ द मोस्ट एलिगेंट पर्सन इन द फील्ड ऑफ रिसर्च. अनडाउटेडली यू आर आवर सोर्स ऑफ इंस्पिरेशन आल्सो, द मोस्ट यंगेस्ट पेट्रॉन ऑफ एक्सेल रिसर्च मैनेजमेंट एसोसिएशन.
तो आई थिंक मुझे लग रहा है सबके सवाल हो चुके हैं. मैं आपको एक छोटी जानकारी और साझा करना चाहूंगा. हम लोग क्या है, जो कार्यक्रम है वो 6 to 8 PM जो डिफाइन है हमारा कार्यक्रम, कि हम 6 बजे से 8 बजे तक 2 घंटे चलता है. लेकिन आपको मैं एक जानकारी दे दूं कि मैं इस कार्यक्रम में 5:30 पर ऑनलाइन हो जाता हूं. यदि आपकी कोई भी क्वेरीज है, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है, कोई भी सोल्यूशन आप चाहते हैं, मैं आपको 5:30 से यहाँ पर ऑनलाइन मिलूंगा. आप मुझसे आकर के उस चीज में, उस दौरान जो आपका आधा घंटा है उसका आप यूटिलाइज करके कोई भी प्रश्नों के सवाल के जवाब दे सकते हैं. मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा कि मैं आपके सभी प्रश्नों के आंसर दे सकता हूं, लेकिन कोशिश करूंगा कि आपके ज्यादातर प्रश्न मैं कवर करूं. यदि कोई सवाल पे मैं नहीं हो पाता या मैं नहीं दे पाता तो मैं नेक्स्ट डे उसका प्रश्न, उसका जवाब, एग्जैक्ट जवाब ढूंढ करके आपको दे करके आपको सेटिस्फाई करने का पूरा प्रयास करूंगा. ये वर्कशॉप API या आपका सर्टिफिकेट लेने की एक प्रोसेस नहीं है, ये सीखने की जगह है. यहाँ आप आइए, आपको सीखेंगे, बहुत सारा ज्ञान आप प्राप्त कीजिए, बहुत सारा नहीं तो आप थोड़ा सा ज्ञान प्राप्त कीजिएगा, उसका यूटिलाइज कीजिएगा. यही इस वर्कशॉप का मेन उद्देश्य रहेगा. सर्टिफिकेट, ये सारी चीजें सेकेंडरी मान के चलिए आप लोग, ठीक है. और मैं आपको श्योर कराता हूँ कि सर्टिफिकेट सभी को मिल जाएगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं आएगी. लेकिन आप क्या ज्ञान लेके जा रहे हैं ये मायने रखता है, ये आपके साथ जिंदगी भर रहेगा. और ऐसे ही करके हम लोग भी एक समय पे बिगिनर थे, हम लोगों ने भी इसी तरह के एक नहीं कई वर्कशॉप किए, और आज हम लोगों को काफी अच्छा नॉलेज है, जिससे हम आपको नॉलेज वो दे पा रहे हैं. तो आई थिंक यदि आपको कोई भी क्वेरी हो, आप 5:30 बजे से आकर के आप कनेक्ट हो सकते हैं और मुझसे वो जवाब ले सकते हैं. बस मुझे इतना ही कहना था. मैं CP सर का धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा कि उन्होंने अपना बहुत बिजी शेड्यूल से इस वर्कशॉप के लिए समय निकाला, ज्ञान प्रदान किया हमारे.
थैंक यू सो मच.
और उनकी बहुत ही खूबसूरत टाइप की क्वेरीज थी, उनके समाधान बहुत अच्छे से किए। हमारे नंबर्स आपके पास ब्राउज़र के थ्रू हैं। यदि आपको कभी भी कोई भी दिक्कत आती है तो आप हमको कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं, आप हमको अपनी समस्या बता सकते हैं। तो मुझे लगता है कि सर अभी कोई प्रतिभागी कोई क्वेरी नहीं है और सभी को समय हो गया, सबका डिनर का टाइम भी हो चुका है, तो मुझे लगता है बाइंड अप कर देना चाहिए हमको।
Definitely, definitely, sir.
ओके,
Thanks to all. Thank you so much.
सभी
Once
प्रतिभागी
again, we hope tomorrow we will meet again at the same time, same month.
सभी प्रतिभागियों को आभार। आप सभी लोग पूरे मन से, पूरे लगन से हमारे साथ जुड़